It's my great pleasure today to have Dr. Adolphus Hailstork in our studio. Adolph goes back many years with the station. I've been playing your recordings for a long time and hope to keep playing those recordings right on into the future. And you are a young 85 years young and
nice.
And still busy. You've had a remarkable career. You started off a doctorate at Michigan State. You studied with some major names. Well, Nadia Boulanger, of course, we have to mention, but David Diamond and Vittorio Giannini, H. Owen Reed. We still play his La Fiesta Mexicana from time to time on the air. It's great teachers, and you have been an inspiration to many folks as well. But as you reach the golden age of 85, many years ago, I interviewed Aaron Copland when he was about your age now, and Aaron had stopped writing music. And I asked him why that was, and his reply was, well, I have said everything I want to say. And I thought, well, that's interesting, but no more Copland. How about Hailstork? Have you said everything you want to say, or do we have some more inspiration coming from you?
I still love the process of writing. I think putting the same sentence with Aaron Copland is like putting Copland with a brickmaker.
You both had Nadia Boulanger as teacher, so
yeah. She had an artist, and I wound up as a brickmaker, and I do my daily brickmaking every day. I like to write.
Well, you have the 3 piano concertos, 4 symphonies. A lot of the inspiration I see in your various compositions come from the outside, from things happening or people doing things. George Floyd, Dr. Martin Luther King, 9/11, Kwanzaa, Norfolk for American Port of Call. All these different things seem to strike a creative chord with you, and you're still scanning to see what is going on or what might be an inspiration for your next work.
That's true. I do react to the world around me. I feel that's my particular calling. I remember when I was working on my doctorate, I wrote a piece called Lament for the Children of Biafra. That tragedy there was taking place. And I just am aware of the news. I'm aware of the situation, and I like to reflect that, and I get energized by it. For instance, one of the pieces Joanna's doing is called To Those Who Serve. Mm-hmm. And when Symphony asked me to write a piece, I turned to the famous Navy hymn because I'd always loved that hymn. I always thought it had great structural power. Yeah. And I built an overture around it, and she's doing that. Well, we're a Navy town.
Well, obviously, yeah, and of course the American Port of Call. Thus,
again,
us being the American Port of Call.
That's our theme song for this area, right? As far as I'm concerned.
But when you do things like As Falling Leaves, from the inspiration of the 9/11 and the people jumping from the buildings because they had to, so you good things, bad things, as any composer does, it will hit you in a certain way, and we look forward to more inspiration then from you in addition to that work. You've got the American Port of Call on the program, and the first piano concerto is going to be on the program as well. You're now up to, I think, 3 concertos.
Yes.
And I saw the second one. Stuart Goodyear is going to be the pianist. Great pianist.
Great pianist.
Coming in. And, of course, that Leon Bates was on the original performance many years ago with you and Joanne. I think back to Celebration and Paul Freeman and the recording you made with Detroit and kind of put you on the map, and then recordings came along. How important are recordings to you?
Recordings, period, should be important to almost any composer because that's where the sound is preserved. Today, we could be talking about how important are CDs versus how important are streaming, or how important could performances on YouTube be. I have access to all 3, or at least I'm represented on all 3, CDs, streaming, and YouTube. And I like the fact that that is happening.
Yeah, there's more exposure now
Yes.
for you or for any composer than probably there ever has been in musical history.
Yes.
And so the outlets that you have and the preservation of your art,
Yes.
it's got to be really heartwarming for you.
It is. It is.
Now, you have collaborated often with Joanne Falletta. Talk about the maestro and you and the many years that you have worked with Joanne Falletta.
Well, she came here in the early 90s, and at that time I'd already been asked to write a piano concerto, and the first thing she did of mine was the first piano concerto with Leon Bates. And over the years, she's recorded many pieces of mine here and in Buffalo, and it's just been joy because she's a wonderful conductor, period.
And you have other artists that inspire you as well. Nice viola music, for example, Beverly Kane Baker. You know, you think about that in some of the works that you've written.
Yes, absolutely. There's certain artists I just love to write for, and it brings joy to my writing.
Now, do they come to you or more often, or do you go to them and say, I've got this piece, I'd like to have you play it and perform it?
Yeah, that surprised Beverly. I wrote the piece with her in mind. She did not know. And then I walked up to her one day and said, here, this is for you. And I admired her a lot, and I still do. And that's why I wrote it.
And so much variety in your music. Again, the choral pieces, solo works, the symphonies, the concertos. You don't seem to stop at anything, whatever seems to inspire you to go into a different form, although I'm sure it takes a lot more time to write the big works, say the big choral pieces and all,
Yes.
more complexity.
Yes.
And for your alma maters as well, you were on the faculty for many years at Norfolk State University and then many years across the street here at Old Dominion University. So academia has been a very important part of your life. Get your reaction to the emergence, I guess, if you will, of more African-American composers and performers. We have had a remarkable group here. We've got the Elliots, the family here, the Connie Masons over in England. You've got Laura Downs, who has been here, Jesse Montgomery, who has been here, the Amani Winds, Chineke Orchestra, all these different groups, and then composers like Florence Price, from the past have been reemerging as well. Even somebody like Justin Holland, the African-American guitarist from 1814, who was from Chesapeake and eventually went north and made music. That's got to make you feel good about that legacy. But for the young musicians, or you being a professor, what is your reaction to this almost sudden explosion of creativity from the African-American community?
Well, this is wonderful. Regardless of the community, it's a good time for composers, period. For an African-American person, it's an exceptional time. I think that began with the time of the COVID, but also the unfortunate death of George Floyd. What happened is that performing organizations started reviewing, especially during COVID, started reviewing their policies, their programming, their opportunities for people. And the doors came open wider, and that's very good.
That is a good thing indeed. And, of course, your doors keep opening. Your music this year being played at the Philharmonie in Berlin. There's an oboe concerto with the Cleveland Orchestra. And all the major orchestras in the country have been playing your music as well. We're hearing you often on performance today with different groups doing the music of Hailstork. So that's a good thing indeed. You got inducted into the Academy of the Arts, the American Academy of the Arts and Letters, a couple of years ago. Great honor. You are now considered the Dean of African American Composers at a young 85. But it's good to know, Dolph, that you still have a lot of energy going. And, of course, we got that great concert that is right on the doorstep with Joanne conducting over at Norfolk State at the Wilder Center, where you spent many years over there on the faculty. American Port of Call, Stuart Goodyear in for the first piano concerto, done Made My Vow with the Norfolk State Chorus. It's got to make you feel good to have the past, the present, and the future before you as well. I mean, you've got the best of all worlds.
Well, when I thought about it, I said, my goodness, there's this is happening in 2026, and we know there's a big American celebration in 2026. But one of the pieces on the program is a piece I wrote 50 years ago for the bicentennial called Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the pieces that jump-started, if not the piece that jump-started my career and opened the doors for me. It's supposed to have been written for a high school orchestra, which I knew nothing about writing for. And it wound up that the professional orchestras took it under their wing, and conductors did it.
Paul Freeman is the one who recorded that.
That's right.
The Detroit. I had Paul Freeman in this very studio many years ago. Very prolific. Conductor.
And recorder.
I said, you're the Neville Mariner of African-American conductors. And he said, well, maybe Neville Mariner was the Paul Freeman of white conductors. And I went, touche. Great story.
That sounds like him.
Neat guy. And as are you. We appreciate you coming in today, talking a little bit about your music and your honors and your great career. And it's good to know that there will be more Hailstork on the horizon coming in. We will be glad, of course, to play it on the radio and hear it in concert. You just keep right on going. 85, I think, is the new 65. So you got plenty of time, Dolph. No problem at all.
Thank you.
So we'll look forward to that concert and much more of Dr. Adolphus Hailstork. Dolph, thanks again for coming in.
Thank you very much, Raymond.
This special concert celebrating Adolphus Hailstork's 85th birthday is coming up on Thursday, April 30th at 7:30 p.m. at the Wilder Performing Arts Center at Norfolk State University. It features the Virginia Symphony Orchestra conducted by Joanne Falletta, with pianist Stuart Goodyear and the Norfolk State University Chorus. You can find more details at vafest.org.